Hello everybody, hello my dear students of grade 6. Today we will continue our unit 1. Last time we covered lessons 3 and 4. Today we'll start lesson 5 and then lesson 6. Let's have a look at this. Unit 1 art project, lessons 5 and 6. Here we have the first page of our lesson, and on this page we will answer this question. Which painting do you think the story is about? We have two paintings here. We will listen and read the text. We have some underlined words, they are important. And after that, we will answer the exercise related to the reading text. So follow me. Now, you will listen to answer this question about this story. Listen carefully, please.
Listening 9. Listen and read. Island Adventure. Max was staying with his cousin Jeff by the sea. Every day, the boys went to the beach and played football or went fishing. But one day, they stood on the sand and stared across the sea at a small island in the distance. No one lived on the island, and the boys had never been there. "I'd like to explore that island," said Max. "Let's borrow my brother's boat and go there," said Jeff. "We'll be back before he finds out." The boys rowed to the island and left the boat on the sand. They climbed trees, swam in the river, and found some caves. At last, they decided to go home. But when they went back to the boat, it wasn't there. The boys were frightened. "What are we going to do?" asked Max. "Nobody knows we're here." "Let's make a fire," said Jeff. "Someone will see the smoke." "But we haven't got any matches," said Max. "We can hit 2 rocks together to make a fire. Come on, it's easy." But it was dark before the boys had a fire. Suddenly, there was a splash of water. The boys stared across the sea. A dark shape was coming towards them. "Run!" shouted Max. "Hey!" said a voice. "Don't you want to go home?" Jeff's brother was standing on the beach next to the missing boat. "How did you find us?" asked Jeff in amazement. "I saw the boat floating near the shore, so I swam out to get it. Then I saw your smoke, and I realized what happened." "That was lucky," said Jeff. "Yes, but next time," said Jeff's brother as they rowed back, "tell me before you take my boat out, and always tie it to a tree."
Yes, here we are done with the listening. So this text is talking about two kids or boys, Max and Jeff. They were playing as usual football on a beach, and they decided to visit an island where no one lived. So they took the boat of Jeff's brother and they decided to visit the island. When they arrived on the island, they left the boat untied. They didn't tie the boat to a tree or so the boat moved in the water. When they finished their moving around the island or exploring the island, they went back to find that the boat wasn't there. After that, they decided to make some signal or to make a fire to have some smoke as a sign to somebody to come and help them. Actually, the one who came to help them was Jeff's brother, who found the boat first. Then he saw the smoke coming out of the island, so he realized or understood that they took the boat to the island and forgot to tie it. After that, he gave them some advice to ask him first before taking his boat. They should take permission, and he asked them to tie the boat to something or to a tree, not to leave it without being tied. Let's see the first part of the question here. Look at the story And the paintings, which painting do you think the story is about? The story is about, not the painting. It must be here, the story is about. So we have two paintings. Which one is related to the story? Yes. Yeah, this one. Because we have here a coast, like there is a beach and sea, so there is an island. But this is a volcano. It is a volcano. Let's move on. Answer the following questions. 3 questions based on the reading. First one, what did Max and Jeff do on the beach every day? Of course, we said it. Yes, they played football on a beach every day. Why did Jeff suggest borrowing his brother's boat? Yes, because they wanted to explore the island they saw in the sea. How did Jeff's brother know that they were on the island? From what? From the smoke. From the smoke that he saw. When he saw the smoke, they made a fire to produce smoke. He realized what had happened. So it was like a sign or a signal to go and help them. Next part, we have some underlined vocabulary in the text. They are very important. Here are the meanings of them. Staring means to look fixedly. Fixed means without moving. You keep your eyes at something. So looking fixedly at something means to stare. Borrow means to take something from someone and return it again. To return it again. It is not yours. You will use it or have it for some time and get it back or give it back to the owner of that stuff. Row as a verb means to move a boat on water using oars. It's like large sticks to move the boat. Splash, it is a noun, the sound made by hitting water or a liquid. So when you drop something in water, it makes or produces a splash. Or when you jump in a swimming pool, there is a splash as a result. Float, verb, not to sink, not to go under the water. Like when we put some piece of plastic on water, it floats, it doesn't go down. Tie to, tie something to. Imagine that you have a horse and you're going somewhere. And when you leave the horse, do not leave it without being tied. You have to tie it to a tree or something. You have to tie it to a tree or something. Attach means to link, bring together or knot with a rope, you mean. Next part, answer the following exercise. The exercise based on a reading. First one is already given. Is Max on holiday? Yes, he is. Number 2, do the boys swim to the island? Of course not. No, they don't. They took the boat. Are there any caves on the island? They explored some caves. Yes, they explored some caves, and yes, there are is the answer. Do the boys lose their boat? Yes, they do, because they didn't tie it. Do they have any matches? No, they don't, because they hit some rocks to each other to make fire. Does Jeff's father take care of a word? He said here what? He said what? Father. Find the boys? Of course. No, he doesn't, because the one who found them was the brother of Jeff, not his father. Let's move on to the next part. Lesson 6. Words in context. The words that were covered in the reading, we will practice them again here in meaningful sentences to make the meaning of them clearer to you. Here we have the page of lesson 6. First part, find the words in the story, they are underlined, and write them here in the right place. After that, we'll have a listening part, which is very important to follow. Let's go to the first item here. Find the words in the story and write. Number 1 is already given. The man used his boat to row across the river. Number 2, my brother sometimes lets me his bike to do what with his bike? Yes, to borrow, to take it for some time. There was a big when a boy jumped into the pool of water, of course, swimming. There was a big splash. I love to sit and at flowers and trees and stare to look fixedly at. The from the fire filled the room. The what comes out from the fire? The smoke. I learned to my shoelaces. The ropes in the shoes are called shoelaces. When I was 4, I learned to tie the shoelaces. Ducks can on water. Yes, kind of bird. Ducks can float on water. You should never, your brother or your sister, you should never hit. It's like hurting him or fighting with him or her. No, I'm done with this part. Now the listening part. Take care that while you're listening, you will find that the answers, the right answers, are highlighted while the listening is playing, okay? So follow the listening carefully and see the answers on the slide.
Listen. Do the children like the painting?
Right. We have to write a story about this painting in this book. It's called Tiger in a Tropical Storm, Surprised. Do you like it? Yes, I like pictures of animals, and this one's really colourful. Who painted it? It was painted by a French artist called Henri Rousseau. Is it very old? It says here it was painted in 1891. So, where's the tiger? Is it in a forest or in a zoo? What do you think? Well, I think it's in a forest. Look at all those tall trees and plants. I agree. Okay, so it's in a forest and there's a storm. Do you think the tiger is frightened of the storm? I don't think it's frightened. I think it's looking for something to eat. I think it's hungry. I think you're right. Maybe it's looking at an animal and it wants to eat it. Yes. So let's write about a hungry tiger in a forest in a storm. Do you want to write a story or a poem? Let's write a story. Good. Let's start. Once upon a time, there was a...
Okay, so we are done with the listening, but look at the first question. Question 2. Do the children like the painting? Of course, they liked the painting because they started to write a story about the painting. Let's move on to the next part. Here we come to the homework part. Use each of the following words in a sentence. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words, and you have to complete a sentence or move to form a sentence using each word. So each word, one sentence, okay? If you want to add more sentences, it's okay. And show them to your teachers at school when you come to school to tell you if you have any mistakes, or he would tell you if he has any comments to add about your homework. Okay, so for today we come to the end of our lesson. Thank you for watching and see you next time.